Welcome to Sewing Out Loud, the official podcast of Zede Sewing Studio. Here are your hosts, Zede and Mallory.
Sewing Out Loud. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Mallory Donahue.
And I'm Zede Donahue.
And today I'm so excited to talk to you about our foray into producing patterns, I guess.
That's right.
That's what we're doing. Our first PDF pattern, the Floozy Doozy undies. The first draft of it was released to our SewHere members, straight stitch, backstitch, and zigzag members in July of 2018. And we are, at this point in time, as we record this podcast, still doing a little bit of editing and tweaking and instruction writing. But, yeah, we figured out how to...
But they're amazing.
Put it on the internet.
It's been a journey. And it has been a journey.
That's what we're talking about today,
yes,
Mom.
The journey to the most excellent sewing patterns in the world.
I'm just so excited.
Patterns that fit you.
I'm just so excited that they're going to be out there. I guess, when I get into that narrative, though, sometimes I get a little anxious about, they're the perfect ones and everything. I'm like, oh, what if somebody, but they are, you know what they are? They are what we would do if we were in your sewing room with you.
Right.
That is what
Yes.
That's kind of what really resonates with me.
We've been tumbling this around in our brains, and I've been saying it has to be like a block. It has to, you have to have the block, and then you have to be able to plot, people's numbers. You can't just, a pattern's not, all of these patterns that are out there that are being published, even the multi-size patterns, they don't work. People don't know where to draw their lines. They don't know what to do. So you go from an 18 to a 20 on a pattern. How do you blend that line?
Also, what was I going to say? I was going to say something about that. So there are these sizes. So,
right.
And there are these nested patterns and blending, and some people will be successful with that and everything. But there are also some systems out there that have you plot.
Right.
Okay. And then there are, I think, some garments that I think it's easy to just sort of, what do I want to say, freehand into existence.
Yes.
Okay.
But everyone doesn't freehand as well as the next person, or are aware of, those subtle changes or those subtle curves that are needed for a body.
So I think that is where we're trying to bridge the gap or create something that will be usable.
One of the biggest questions on our Facebook page that bothers me so bad is when someone says, I want a blah, blah, blah. I want a pair of trousers with pockets. Somebody suggest a pattern that fits. That's impossible.
Yeah,
that is not reality, everyone.
We're starting off on a
that is not false pretense. That is not reality.
Yeah.
It might fit them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're telling you, I used, I think this is the first time I used Floozy Doozy. I said, I said something like that. Oh, that there are all these patterns in their names, but this is the booty cutie, pants. And
stop it, Mom. We got it now. We have another booty cutie. Floozy Doozy.
This is the booty. This is the booty cutie. Fast and tooty, whatever. I don't know, but everybody's body is different.
That's right.
It just and then someone will say, "I'm long waisted," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" Where are you long waisted? From where to where to it's all everybody's different.
Yeah, this would come up with the gingers, and I like the ginger jeans pattern, and it has good instructions. But you have to fit it. Yeah, it has good instructions. It has good support, and it's a nicely designed thing. But I knew things about the pattern that would help people. It seems to be fairly generous in the bum area.
Right.
So it's
the legs and the hips are generous.
Sometimes people just want to automatically assume, because all their life let's say they've had a big butt.
Right.
Got a big butt, So, like, I got to make this pattern fit my big butt.
Right.
But, like, maybe the gingers, just, like, because of the way they were drafted, they already fit your, quote,
big butt.
you know, or your quote.
Well, and you think you have a big butt because every pattern you ever tried didn't fit you in the butt. It doesn't mean you have a big butt.
Sure.
It means your butt didn't fit in that pattern. That's what it means.
Yeah, we're just working with all these definitions, right? That are given to us by, you know, media and by pattern companies. This is where we're going to get into this. Pattern companies aren't like evil or anything.
No, they're doing the best they can for the masses.
That's right. And that's what they have to do. And they have to, these standardized body measurements, it's not like, I know the frustration. We recognize the frustration.
Yes.
We're here to address the frustration. But I don't think that those pattern companies are using standardized body measurements that are taken via a survey. Okay, there is a company that surveys the population.
Right.
And, you know, then the pattern companies get these, like, how else are they going to draft the pattern? Right? Like, they got to draft it.
They got to do
somehow, right?
They're averaging these things.
Absolutely. So I don't think that's, like, the wrong way to go about it necessarily. But we went about it, and we went about our patterns in a sort of similar way, you know? But that's what we're going to talk about today is sort of the process by which we did this. So Zede and I know how to draft patterns. And if you come to us and you say, you know, you come to our studio with your body and you're like, I want underwear, or I want this or that, or I want blah, 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 blah. You know,
I want a wedding dress.
We might do a number of things. We will most certainly measure you. Okay.
And not just in 3 places.
No. That's right.
It will be like 15 places.
We'll measure you a lot of places.
Yes. We'll measure your neck. We'll measure your shoulders.
We would help you look at patterns.
We'll measure your arm.
And I love to, like, boil down patterns a little bit. It's like with the Easy Tee. This is a, you know, dolman woven t-shirt that skims the body.
Because that's what t-shirt means, actually,
okay.
Right? It's in the shape of a T.
But then people are like, I want, you know, these pants. It's like, okay, do you want a pair of pants that has this smooth yoke at the top and starts from your natural waist and then oh, no, I don't like wearing things my natural waist. Okay, well, that's how the pattern was drafted. So we need a different pattern. Okay. Right. So I like to boil down those concepts or those key things in the pattern so that people can get that, you know, so that then they can know I don't like to wear things there. I like to wear things in my natural waist, but this isn't going to my natural waist. The pattern wasn't meant to do that, you know. So we would measure you. We would draft your pattern. We would make you a muslin, and you would have your sloper then after we maybe, like, modified your muslin a bit or not or whatever. And you would have a tool because almost any garment, as Zede has mentioned in lots of previous podcasts.
There's only 3 garments in the whole world.
Many garments can be modified or slightly changed.
There's only 3 patterns in the whole world, and everything else is modified from that.
That's right. So, like the Floozies, they are not, quote, like a basic underwear pattern. They do have design elements to them. They have these panels and stuff. Because I don't think everyone wants to, like, design their basic block and then cut it up and then redo it and then and add CMOS and stuff. I get that.
Right.
Sometimes I don't want to do that either. Like, I liked making the ginger jeans. You know, that was fine. Like, I'm not against patterns, like I said before. So it's like we are going to have our designs that we think up, our lines. I have a really good idea for a bodysuit, I feel like, right now. Okay.
Oh, my gosh. It's coming on, Far.
We know we're going to have a rash guard, right, Mom?
That's right.
Okay.
Rash guard's on the table right now.
All that jazz. Okay, so we are going to have these things with these fun design details described accurately. This is what you will get when you make this, and then you can blah, blah, blah from here. Okay.
Well, and then as the system progresses, because I consider this a system, we will have the style
add-on.
Right.
things.
The style, the components.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you change the neck. This is how you change the leg opening. This is, all these things. Those style components, we will show you how to add
So
or subtract.
I have had to be working in Adobe Illustrator lately as I've been illustrating the wardrobe planners, right? Been getting more and more comfortable with this program. It worked a lot with the with embroidery software, which is very
They're
similar.
all CAD programs,
Yeah,
right?
very similar to Illustrator in a lot of ways. And so Zede and I know how to draft these patterns. We talked about that just now. But how do we get them on the computer? Like
how do we do this without us drafting 5,000 patterns for everyone in the whole world?
Or,
right.
I think that drafting your own is appropriate for a garment such as the Easy Tee or garments such as the leggings. We have those classes.
Right.
But when you get into some more complex things or things where people want the fun design details, it's easier to give them a template, right?
That's right.
So how do we do this? Okay, well, I figured out how this is done. I took some classes, read some books, got the plotting all done and everything, and we discussed how to do this. And this isn't like necessarily a new process.
It's the blending of some processes is what it is.
Yes, it is. It's the blending of some processes. So what we have is we have really subtle changes in pattern sizing all drafted down on the paper. Okay. So on the Floozy Doozy undies, which is our first pattern, you can have a 20-inch to a 48-inch waist and a 31-inch hip to a 59-inch hip. That doesn't mean that you have to have a 48-inch waist and a 59-inch hip.
That's right.
To make them. That is not what that means. Okay. And it doesn't mean you have to have a 20-inch waist and a 31-inch waist. And those of you who love to do math in your head while you're driving and listening to podcasts, you'll notice that the difference between those two measurements was 11 inches.
Right.
Okay. That is some standard stuff.
Yes.
In the industry.
It's an industry standard.
Not in every.
Or an industry expectation.
It is
in some of them.
And
yes.
it is one of them.
Right.
Right. It's not all patterns.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
But it is one that exists. It is one that we chose. It's one that someone else has chosen, and then other pattern companies have chosen a different.
That's right.
A different difference between waist and hip, right?
Right.
So there is.
And my difference is not 11 inches.
Neither is mine.
Yeah.
And no, your difference is 11 inches.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it's
it
not.
was really close because you were right.
No,
What was it? What's your pattern?
My difference was like 7 inches.
I thought that we were right in between the lines for you.
Yeah, but it's going the wrong way if you think about it.
Oh,
It's
is that what
coming
it was?
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding. Okay, I was like, someone.
No.
No, maybe I am. Am I? No, I'm not 11 inches.
So
Like
my
6
pattern
inches.
drafted on top. my particular body drafted on top of our pattern nesting shapes. Right. Either my waist is too big or my hip is too small.
Yep.
So my, mine's only 7 inches. It's not 11. So there's 4 inches difference. So what pattern would I buy?
Yeah, good question.
What pattern would I buy?
And so let's take a quick break here. We're about, we're at the 13-minute mark and come back and talk about how sizes.
See how many people we lose when we come back?
Talk about how many sizes are drafted and how sizes are drafted, how many are drafted, etc.
Right.
Hey everybody, it's Mallory here in your message break, and I just want to make an announcement or a disclaimer or whatever we're supposed to call it, that we are going to start using affiliate links as a way to get support for the podcast and for our website and everything like that. Mom, do you know what an affiliate link is?
Okay, she's affiliating me with something and I have no idea what this is about.
Yeah, I totally used,
Thanks.
our tax ID number to,
Yeah.
So what an affiliate link is.
I'm going to wind up in jail and not know what I'm being charged with. Is that right?
Probably.
Okay.
No, because we're disclaiming it right now.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Affiliate links.
I'll just need a lawyer. I
Yes.
won't go to jail.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And we'll make money from the affiliate links to pay for the lawyer.
that Zede's going to need to keep her butt out of jail.
No, we're doing it all right. Okay, so here's the deal. Affiliate links are links that we post that maybe to Amazon or to other products on other platforms. And when you click through and you buy things on Amazon or you subscribe to something, that we're an affiliate for, we get a kickback. Okay.
Oh, we make money?
Yeah, we make a little bit of money. And what's really cool about the Amazon thing is, we make the kickback on everything you buy.
So if they buy a refrigerator, I can make money on it.
That is correct.
Hey, everybody, buy a refrigerator.
No, we're not. Okay, so that's something we're not supposed to do, right?
Oh, we're not supposed to. So now I am going to wind up in jail.
So the terms of service, though, I just want to let you all know, is that we have to disclaim, like, hey, we're an affiliate for this or this. When we share this tracing paper from Amazon that has free shipping, this is an affiliate link. You need to know that I am not just innocently recommending this, and we will get a kickback on that. So you're going to see some of those in the group. It's never going to be crap that we don't.
I was going to say, even though we could endorse crap,
we won't.
We're not going. We're actually going to maintain our ethics.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to find you things at places that ship fast. We're going to recommend products that we really enjoy using. If you've ever ordered something from us, you may have noticed that Mallory's not the most organized shipper and packer. So we are going to play to our strengths and really focus on creating the podcasts, the videos, the online classes, and allow other businesses that are really good at shipping things to ship things to you. So just be aware that we will be using those affiliate links. There are lots of ways to let you know. I can just say this is an affiliate link, or sometimes people use hashtags, and I've been getting really creative and it's been a lot of fun already in the group. So just heads up, we're going to be doing that. And if you click on an affiliate link, know that if you purchase something, you'll be supporting SewHere.com, and we so appreciate it.
Good idea, Mal.
Sewing out loud. Okay, so sizing. So I have a sizing chart here from a major pattern company. And let's just go with waist size here. And sorry to read off just all these numbers to y'all, but their extra small waist, it says it's from 22 to 23 and a half. And then their small waist, 24 and 3/4 to 26. Medium waist, 27 and a half to 29. Large waist, 31 to 33, and so forth.
There's some numbers missing.
There are some numbers missing. And you can see that the differences get bigger in the larger sizes.
Right.
This is pretty typical. So like in the smaller sizes, there's a 1 1/4 inch difference, and then we get like a 1 1/2 inch difference, then we go to a 2-inch difference and everything.
You mean in the range?
Between the sizes. Those are the numbers that are missing.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's this range. Yes.
Right.
Okay, like you said. But between.
Right.
But yeah, there are some numbers missing. It's not awfully broad, okay?
But I think it's confusing.
Okay, but then we measured, didn't we? We measured the pattern pieces. I don't know if you were.
We?
Yes.
I don't know.
Sam and I did this. Sam is good at math, everybody. Mom's good at math. Sam's good at math. Mallory's okay at math, all right? But Sam was there with me while we did this. Then we measured the waistline of some of these pattern pieces. The extra large had a certain percentage of negative ease.
Uh-huh.
But when we got down to the extra small,
it had less.
There was much less.
Right.
And when I have made patterns from this, I remember sizing myself into a medium, but actually needing the small.
Right.
This is undies when I'm talking about this stuff, okay? So there are these rules that get assigned, and there's certain rules that a pattern company will choose, okay? And they don't disclose these all the time. They don't share that with you. You have to do some measuring. And so we're telling you how much negative ease is worked into our patterns, okay? And then we are putting down in whole inch increments where you should draft on your pattern.
We aren't leaving out any numbers. We aren't giving you a range. We are giving you what you need to draft on.
And
we're giving your plotting dots.
I guess that technically for somebody saying, oh, you are leaving something out. You're not including 1/2 inch sizes or
You
whatever.
go between the 2 dots.
You can go between the 2 dots, or I say...
We size down.
I say,
right.
well, we will say this in the instructions.
Yeah.
This is a knit underwear pattern. You should just size down.
Right.
Okay, maybe there will be something different in
right.
our other patterns.
We'll let you know about that.
We'll let you know. But I think that this is so important. I think that this is going to be really useful to people. And, like, this is what we've been doing. We've been taking people's waist measurements,
That's right.
taking people's hip measurements.
That's right.
This is what you did. We've talked about this before in show choir. You would measure all your performers, and you would see, okay, you would draft a pattern. You didn't have all these sizes, but you might see that you really only had a 10-inch span within waist, but you had a 20-inch span in hips. I'm just making that up.
Right.
Okay. So maybe you did.
Yeah, it wasn't that big, I'm sure.
Maybe you had somebody with a 20-inch waist and a 31-inch hip.
Right.
But then you only had somebody with like a 30-inch waist, but then they did have that like bigger hip.
Right.
That I don't know, 50-inch hip or something. That'd be pretty larger. Maybe the hip looked like it was coming in like on yours.
Uh-huh.
So it's like you have a bit of a straighter body. One of our models has a 16-inch difference between waist and hip.
Right.
That is much larger than the 11-inch, right? That's almost, 2 sizes or whatever more, than between her waist and hip.
I'm the opposite of what she is.
Yeah.
I go the other way.
That's right. So that's why we just think, okay, let's put these numbers down here.
That's right.
Let's get this stuff done. And now we have some straight sizes delineated in our patterns. Okay? Like the smallest and the largest are delineated, and a few in there are delineated, so people can see what the general shape looks like. I think that sort of helps.
Helps a lot, I believe.
I think it helps because, like, in the easy tee class and the leggings class, you're only drafting one pattern
and you
piece.
have to decide on your curve. You
That's
have to
right.
decide on your angle.
So this gives you a little bit more guidance, but it's a little bit more complex.
That's right.
Thing. So when we are talking about what we want to draft ourselves, what we want to use patterns for, that's what this is all about.
That's right.
Also, you talk about how made-to-measure leggings were originally developed for a men's show choir.
That's right.
Right? So, like, why do our patterns even have to have men's and women's attached to them?
Because they take the standards and they figure men are straighter than women. That's the only difference.
There you go.
That a woman usually has a more generous hip, which if you've studied anatomy, you can tell a female skeleton from a male skeleton.
Generally.
They usually have a wider pelvis because they carry children in their pelvis. That's why.
But then we
pat on muscle and fat.
Right.
So, whatever.
So then we hear from our group members, I'm a man, but I want this to fit a lot tighter than men's pattern. I want this more contoured than most men's patterns. Or
I was born a woman, but I want to dress like a man.
Yes, I want this masculine look, or or I'm not wanting to accentuate this part. I'm wanting to do this, or blah 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 blah. Well, where we would go from there is just to...
Oh, my God, our patterns are sexless.
They are? No, they're genderless.
Genderless, that's right.
Well,
they're sexless, too. They're both.
Well, hold on,
they're just
we'll get
neutral.
there. Okay. So what we get there is we'll just take your measurements. We'll just, you don't want to emphasize your waist to hip ratio? Cool. We'll just make this not fit as tightly in the waist. We'll make this, you want this to skim over your hips? Great. Make it this much in the hips. It's for me and you, how we would treat someone who voiced their concerns about any type of fit. This is what we would do.
That's right.
And so the Floozy Doozies have, I must just admit to you all that in my brain, I call this the junk in the front bump. Okay.
That's right.
That's what I call it. So if you have external genitalia, in the front, you can make the Floozy Doozies.
That's right.
If you want a flat front, you can make the Floozy Doozies. And when I was drafting our junk in the front bump, I asked my dad for some of his underwear because he wears all sorts of bottoms, right?
Yes.
Got more clothes than both of us combined. He does triathlons. He's got swimwear. He's got bike shorts. He's got all this stuff. And I was like, hey, show me your bottoms because I want to see how this contour is done. Because, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not like that much of a contour. It's not like
it's kind of mashable.
Yeah,
Yes.
So I was looking, and some of his stuff was flat front.
No, his underwear looks just like mine.
Yeah.
It's spandex.
Okay.
It stretches. It's like a bikini brief. That's what he wears. Yeah.
So
no whitey tighty or boxers for him.
So breasts and penises and testicles are all these really squishy parts of our bodies that don't follow sizing rules and that everyone likes to do different things with them.
Yes, that's right.
This
that's
is
absolutely correct.
This is what I came to find. This is the conclusion I came to. And so I was like, why? So just as we were like, why make everybody who buys our patterns have an 11-inch difference in their hip and waist?
Right.
Why make them all have or not have the
flat
front
right.
or the contoured front,
right.
And so I was just like, yeah, why don't we include this? And I thought, I felt
how very progressive of us.
Well, but I also just felt sort of like freed. I was like,
right.
Listen, I don't want to. The language gets to be so much more inclusive. It gets to be like, okay, well, like these are underwear.
They're just underwear.
It's not like.
And I will admit, I have worn your dad's underwear.
Well, there you go. And so we get to talk about
you go
all
on a
these
trip,
things.
you didn't pack them. What do you do?
So we get to talk about all these things, and maybe people who are just like, there are people who wear prostheses. There are people who like to tuck. There are people who are just like, they're cisgender males and they like to treat their genitalia in a different way than other cisgender males do. I mean, they like the more...
Some like them to hang
they
loosely,
like the support.
Some like them tight and up close to the body. There's all different things.
All sorts of things. So, like, I'm just like, okay, well, you could just very obviously, you could make yourself the pattern and you could adjust it depending on your fabric and depending on your preference and everything like that. And I'm like, yeah, customizable. Because don't you think we used to get a lot of people in the shop who we would end up doing something a little, quote, unconventional to give them the fit they wanted or something. It's like maybe for a woman who was looking for a more athletic pant, it's like, oh, well, go use this men's pattern.
Yeah.
It's straighter, or go use...
And usually they don't have as much butt.
Yeah.
They're flatter butt like me.
So it's like we have the tools, we have the knowledge of the standards to kind of, what do I want to say, exploit them.
Right.
And interpret. It's like we were
right.
interpreters for people. Or we'd have, someone who said, oh man, I need to keep the junk in control
right.
during whatever they're doing.
Right, right. Different things.
And so we're like,
and this is true.
This,
different activities call for different clothing and different types of clothing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So instead of acting as interpreter between patterns that are gendered with, men or,
right.
Men's underwear, women's underwear, blah, 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 blah.
It's a pattern.
It's just a pattern. I mean, yeah, like it's just, to me, I don't have like any kind of like gender dysphoria or anything like that. But I'm like, yeah, sometimes I've wanted maybe like a more brief looking, undergarment
Absolutely.
or something or whatever. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I'm just so excited. Okay. So it's all there. All that information is there on the pattern, all the dots, all the contours.
Well, I don't think you have to have gender dysphoria to want to wear a certain kind of garment either, right?
I did want to bring that up because I don't want to be like, listen, everybody who is transgender, I fixed your problem.
I don't think so.
That's not what I'm trying to say,
right.
But I have been in conversations with some of my friends who they are transgender and they're making underwear for transgender friends and customers.
Or you hear,
and we're testing them.
You hear people just say, yeah, okay, so I'm a cisgender woman, but I go to the men's department because their pants fit me better.
Yes.
My mother used to steal
Yeah.
my husband's jeans after he broke them in. And I can tell you how long ago this was. She would like come into our house when we weren't there, and she would steal his pants. And she would leave a $20 bill on the table so he could buy new jeans. So think about how long ago that was. If the $20 bill bought a pair of jeans,
They were 20,
right.
yeah.
But she liked them broken in. But they wore exactly the same size pants.
So there you go. So it's, we really just get
She didn't have a butt.
I hope this can help just anybody who's sewing for themselves. And don't you think people who sew for themselves are a bit of a self-selecting group that doesn't fit into those standards, right? Because that's why they're sewing.
Well,
they don't fit into those standards.
I guess you mean the ready to wear.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it is they're looking for a better fit.
That's what I mean.
And I don't think many people fit into those clothes, really. I've seen people that think they fit into those clothes, and I'm thinking, no, they don't.
Right.
I mean, I am very conscious. When I look at someone's clothing, I'm very conscious of the fit. Very conscious.
Hasn't that been coming up in the group a lot?
With it, that they look at other people.
People are like, oh my gosh, I feel bad because I've been learning about sewing, and now I look at everyone. I'm like, oh, there's a bump in the back of your suit jacket, and the crotch fits.
Or how about the woman that was taking communion?
Yeah, taking communion, and felt like the crotch looked funny on the communion giver
the priest or whatever, whoever was passing around the body of Christ or whatever.
Someone said that's why they wear robes, and I thought,
she said I'm going to go to hell, and I said we'll meet up.
Yeah,
but anyway,
so I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, you do become like more conscious of that,
right?
And then you can what you really want.
Well, actually, you feel sorry for them.
Sure.
Like in swimming suits, you see people like their butts hanging out, and they're uncomfortable. Like, there's not enough butt in their suit or something.
Yes.
Or too much butt, and it's like hanging down.
No.
So then they get out of the water, and their suit's like hanging off their butt, and you feel sorry for them. Like, oh, I can take that up for you.
Yeah, swimsuits especially. It's like I see.
Well, I think it's so obvious in a swimsuit because you have the silhouette of the body.
Well, and like it's generally it's briefer than most clothing,
right?
And it's getting wet, so it's like when I see somebody getting out of the pool and pulling, I'm like, oh no, you don't have to do that. Like I just can tell it's like strapless dresses that don't fit properly.
It's like
right?
that bride that keeps having to pull her dress up. Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I just want to help you, And I've seen
or the bride that trips on the front of her dress, right, Mallory?
I have a picture in my brain, and I thought, this fit this woman like in one place, but not another.
Right.
And I'm like, I can tell she bought it to fit. I can't even remember
like
where.
the biggest part, or whatever.
And like maybe it fit her in the waist, but then the leg hole just like wasn't
right.
It wasn't right.
Right.
And I could tell she was pulling at it a lot.
Yeah.
God darn it, she's not enjoying the pool.
And the other thing is they're not always made to a certain standard. They're just cheap.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true.
And you are made cheaply. They don't even have to be cheap to be made cheaply. But
Very
you
true.
can try this on in the store, and all is grand, and then you get it wet.
No, that's very true.
And then it starts losing shape.
So we're including instructions, of course, on how to trace draft these guys.
Right.
These Floozy
They're the
Doozies.
perfect swimming suit bottom.
I am wearing them.
That's
as
what
a
yours
swimming
is.
suit bottom.
That's what your swimming suit bottom is.
Freaking love them. Actually, though, I do have another idea for another underwear pattern.
Oh, really?
I guess they'll be the cutie
Imagine that.
Will they be the cutie booties?
I guess cutie booty.
Write that down. The cutie booties. I do have another idea for them, and I think they might also be good swim bottoms.
Well, anything can be a swim bottom.
True.
It's just the fabric that
okay, but
they're
we're
made
including
out of.
Instructions. Fabric, yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
yes.
talking about. We've tested these with woven front and back panel.
Right.
And that's what my one friend who was talking to individuals who want to tuck or have like modesty panels or whatever, whatever they want to call them, it would flatten that external genitalia,
right.
And I'm like, yeah, like this would be perfect.
That's right.
It can be perfect for any kind of soft tissue molding. The woven
right.
won't stretch, right?
Right.
So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to make myself some more, woven fabrics can lend themselves sometimes more easily to certain embellishments.
That's true.
Like You can, of course,
I
embroider.
want to make a pair and embroider all 7 days of the week on them, so
Like
I can
on
wear
the
them
thing.
any day
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
Right. They one pair with all of the days of the week.
And this is another thing that we're including. We're being very straightforward about our pattern drafting process. And like I said, boiling down those details. This is a low leg, high waist, 4-panel bottom. Okay? If you have a low leg and a high waist on your pattern, if the bottom half of your torso gets covered, then you can go
Do
to town
whatever
from
you
there.
want.
You can make a high leg. You can make a low waist.
Right.
You can all this stuff. You make this one pattern. You get that covered. You put it on, and then you place 3 safety pins to get.
Because you saw what I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess it's not 3. I guess it's like what.
No, I just did 3.
Was it 3? Okay, whatever. You place a few safety pins, and Mom was saying, and this I totally agree with you. She's got her high-waisted like brief on. She's like, I like this under a dress, but under pants.
Because I like the low leg
The coverage.
and the high waist
Uh-huh.
under a dress, and I don't wear. I'm not wearing a slip or anything.
Yes,
That's the only garment I have. So I have a lot of coverage. So if I fall down and my dress goes over my head, I'm covered.
Yay!
Right?
Yeah. Or
I look like Marilyn Monroe,
there you go.
except she didn't wear any underwear. But anyway,
And it's not real close. Like your dress isn't always real close to the tummy.
right.
And so I like to. It's like when you're wearing pants. Generally, your panties won't roll down.
Right, and this gives you a very flat feeling in the front.
I love it. I love
Right.
it under dresses
Right.
too.
But then
Then if
under
you are wearing
pants, I really don't mind the high waist. I might lower it a little bit, but I want a higher leg under my pants.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody, but once if you have the whole lower half of your torso covered, then you can go to town.
Right.
Okay, then you can get anything
Because
done.
you have the shape of your torso.
That's right. And a lot of you get to get in your clothes and feel them.
That's right.
Sam was talking about, she was like, she said something about not wanting to wear high-waisted underpants. And also, she's like, I don't think I really need like any kind of control panel or, more stable panel under pants.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, because a lot of our pants are tighter fitting and
Well,
stuff.
and I don't want my underwear waistband to be at the same place as my pants waistband. I don't want 2 things on my waist in the same place.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
And some people might not mind.
Right.
And da da da.
That's
da, da.
right.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
So-
That's why they have all those different pants.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. So I'm really excited about those undies. I just cannot wait so they're not for sale to the general public at the recording time of this podcast, but
This is July 2018.
yes, but they should be ready
Soon.
soon. And
They've been out to our members and
so if
we've seen them on people and they're
if
making
you've ever
them.
been curious, like what would SewHere.com membership get you? So like right now, the straight stitch and the back stitch and the zigzaggers, they've got access to our first
So
draft.
they had our beta
Yeah.
version of this pattern.
And then they're going to get like a discount code or a discounted link to the Floozy Doozies. Now, this isn't, so if you're listening to this like in 2050 or something like that, you may not have access to it as a straight stitch member.
And I'll be
or
dead.
Whatever, we'll keep you up to date on that. So just keep that in mind. All right. Well, this is our pattern production journey, and we are excited to have you all on it. Thank you. I really have to give a shout out. The people who have supported us by becoming members.
Yes, this is what it allows us to do.
This is what it did. You did this. I mean, of course,
and
we
we
did
can
it
make
too.
you happy.
But
Yes.
You truly, like, if you like the stuff that's coming out of SewHere.com, go to SewHere.com/membership and get on there, and we'll give you delightful things in return for your membership. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. All right. Anything else to add about our Floozy Doozy drafting?
I
and
love them, love them, love
development
them.
and whatnot?
I love them.
I know. And you know what? You know what underwear I'm wearing? I'm
You're wearing
wearing
them?
maternity underwear
Oh,
from
throw those
when
away.
Zelda was in my
Time to clean
body.
out. Maybe we need
Yes.
another closet clean out project,
I think what I need to do is just cut out like 14 pairs
and then get rid of your
of
others.
floozies
Yes.
and just throw the rest away.
Yep.
And, I went to the store and bought some other underwear. This is like 5 weeks ago now, I
Uh-huh.
think, or something. And I'll just tell you, everybody,
They're not as happy.
No, this is why I drafted the Floozies, because I bought these underwear, I get them on, they fit okay in the leg, okay, but they hit me right on my fat roll, and then they roll under, and it's awful, and it pisses me off.
So then they're laying in your fat roll.
Makes me feel awful. Yeah. I don't like them, and I'm like, well, I don't need to be putting something on my body that makes me uncomfortable.
You put something on that makes you feel good.
And upset. I'm going to go draft an underwear pattern for everyone, okay? So anyway, that's why the Floozy Doozies exist. So yes, think ready to wear for that. All right. So,
hey, Mal.
It was a good episode, Mom.
So where can you find us?
SewHere.com. You can find us on Instagram. We'll either be Zede's Sewing Studio or SewHere.com. I haven't made the switch yet. Zede's on Instagram too. She's Zede Donahue, and I'm Mallory Donahue. You can email me at mallory@sewhere.com. And take it away.
So long and so happy.
Thanks for listening to Sewing Out Loud. For even more expert sewing advice, visit SewHere.com.